Hello everybody, this is Scott Gifford, President and CEO of Untied Global. I just want to roll out a new program here that I think is going to get everybody excited. It's basically to help new agents get going faster out the door, and we're going to get right to it here. We're calling this program TenToWin, which is our new agent fast start program, and we're also going to roll this out to some of our newer agents just to help get them going as well. So how this works is if you fund $10,000 of annualized premium in your first month, then we're going to bump you up 10% on all of your commission levels. That's right, 10% across every single contract that you have. If you, let's say you fall short your first month, and let's say you only hit maybe 8,000 or 9,000, or you just fall short of the 10,000, that's fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do an average of your next 3 months, your first month, your second month, and your third month. If that all averages out to $10,000 a month funded, then you're going to get a 10% on all of your commission levels. And that's for your first 3 months only. Okay? So we want to get you out of the gates fast. And in order to do that, we're going to show you how as well. We're going to take everything right back to the basics. So what you're going to need to do is go back to your agent dashboard. This is kind of the central point for everything for our agents. And we're going to really focus on our most basic carriers, okay? So if you've got Liberty Bankers, then we want you to focus on Liberty Bankers only. If you've got Americo, then we want you to follow on Americo only. If you've got Sentinel, then obviously we want you to follow on Sentinel. Okay, and the same with Royal. These 4 companies right here do not require any type of an application input. Okay, so let's go with Sentinel here. Get to know their products, and as you'll see here, there's a phone app. Okay, all you gotta do is call in there, and once you complete the application, what we call completing the application, that's going through the script and getting all the information required, then you just simply call their phone number right here, and you do the application over the phone with your customer. That's how easy it is. We want everybody that has Liberty Bankers to use Liberty Bankers because they cover everything out there that all these other companies don't carry. So it's the easiest one to learn. We do, however, understand that some of you may not have Liberty Bankers, so you may have to fall back on Americo, you may have to fall back on Royal or Sentinel. Now, with Royal, if you're using Royal, they have a guide that you're supposed to give this telesales disclosure. You're supposed to make sure that this is in front of your customer before you call in. Okay? So you can either take a picture of this with your phone and text it over to your customer. You can email it to them if they've got email. If they don't have either one of those, then just simply say, look, there's a disclosure here that I can read to you. You're supposed to have it in front of you. It's going to take me about 5 to 10 minutes to read it. Or when we get on the phone to complete the application, you can just go ahead and say that you've got it, you've read over it, and it'll come with your policy. Most customers aren't going to have any issues doing that. Okay? But that's the only hang up with Royal Neighbors is this disclosure right here. A lot of people are hesitant to get around that, but it's really not that big of a deal. Now let's go back over here and show you how this works, because it's the same with Liberty, Americo, Royal, Sentinel. What you got to do is pull up their questions, okay, their health questions, basically their application. And for Liberty, it happens to be right here. This producer guide walks you through everything, how to complete the phone call. I mean, it's so basic. Here's an actual worksheet they have that you can fill out before you get on the phone with them. You can print that off. And then what happens is you actually get down here to the actual worksheet or the application, and all you do is you start at the top. And for this first question, this first part number 1, and it's the same on pretty much all of the carriers that we're using, if they answer yes, then you don't proceed. Okay, because these are their knockout questions. These are their big ones. If they answer yes to these, you're going to go to AIG and write guaranteed issue. If they answer no, then you keep on moving down the application. So if they answer no, keep on moving down the application on to the end. If they answer no, then it says if all answers are no, then they qualify for simplified preferred. If they answer yes in this last box, part 3, to any of the questions, then they're standard issue. Okay? If they answered no to part 2, then obviously you would move forward to part 3. But if they answered yes to anywhere in part 2, then it says here, otherwise they are modified whole life. Okay? So you basically work you work your way from the top to the bottom. As long as they answer no, then you keep moving on down until they answer yes. And wherever they answer yes, just look at the bottom of that part, and it'll tell you what they qualify for. So let's say they go all the way to the bottom, they answer no to everything. We know that they're going to qualify for simplified preferred. Well, what does that mean? Well, now you go back over to the rate calculator, and you've got different options, and all the carriers are the same. You know, they're going to have different options, however they call it. They qualified for simplified preferred, so that's what we're going to put in the rate calculator. We're going to put in their age. And, you know, Liberty Bankers is more flexible with their age as well. They cover from 18 to 80. So let's try putting 81 in here and see what happens. See, it'll tell you it's out of range. Let's try 18. So you're in range. So let's see here. Male, non-tobacco. We want AD&D on there. And we want to go by face amount. So let's say we wanted to get 25,000. 25,000 will be $34.97. If you want to give them some more options, back that out. Go to 30,000. There's your rate for 30,000, 41.03. Back that out. And 45,000 exceeds the maximum policy amount of 30,000. So 30,000 is the highest they'll go. I did that on purpose. So if you want to throw out like 20,000 to give them their 3 options, 20,000 would be $28.90. So that's how you work the rate calculator. If they were standard, fine, just click on standard. Let's do a new age, 45. Let's say they were female. We want to include the accidental death. We want to do this by face amount. You can either do by face amount or premium. So if somebody says they can only afford like $50, that's fine. You could put in, $50. And it's going to tell you exactly how much they can get for $50. Okay, but I don't want to do it by face amount. So we do like 15,000 is 42.38. Backspace out. 20,000 is 54.96. Backspace out. And then 30,000 will be 80.13. That's how easy it is. Once you get those 3 options and you go back to your script, out of those 3, I've got great news. I was able to qualify you for this company. Go over the benefits. Go over the benefits of the policy. It's on your script. Out of these 3 options, if the good Lord were to call you home tonight, which one do you want to leave your family? Once they choose, that's a great choice. Now, who do you want your beneficiary to be? And then you go through the application. You start pulling out all the information. Once you get all their information, you're doing really good. Once you get all their information from the worksheet, then all you got to do is call this number right here with the customer on the phone. It's your point of sale. You do the application right over the phone. There's no data entry required, and they'll actually approve it right over the phone for you. So that's our agent quick start. We want everybody to just focus on one company. If you've got Liberty, go with them. If you've got Sentinel, focus on Sentinel. If you've got Americo and Royal Neighbors, then focus on them. But we are not working with Foresters. We're not working with Prosperity. These are only on there for the agents who've had them for a while. Get to know one carrier really good right out of the gates. Make sure you're reporting your sale right here when you're done. This will let us know that you're selling. And then for leads, we don't recommend, just because Triangular Media is the first one listed here, we don't recommend them up front. We like them because their cost is $10. They're cheap. But, whenever you spend $10, you're going to get what you pay for $10. It's not going to be the perfect lead. It's going to be a numbers game. You're going to hope to get maybe 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 when you pay for these. As long as your cost acquisition, is lower than $80 to $100, you're still winning there. I mean, you're winning even if it was $200 if you're selling the right way. So the great thing about the $10 lead here is it's a very good lead. And you get a lot of them since it's $10. Some companies are charging $30 to $40 for this lead. So what I would do is, if I'm a new agent, I'm going to spend maybe $200 here and get 20 leads here. I might get some of these leads here as well. I might go down here and order some leads with DataLot. But you can click on these leads down here, and if you actually click on the button there, it'll tell you more about the lead. And DataLot's a really good lead. You got to bid on them, but it'll be a live transfer to your phone. I would definitely work DataLot along with these other leads, and just mix and match them, and then find out which leads you like the best. Our IMO is One Life. They can send out mailers for you. They can send out 1,000. It's $411 for 1,000. They'll drop them wherever you want. So if you want 1,000 mailers dropped right next door to you in case you're not doing well on the phones and you want to go out and run them, you can do mailer leads for $411. That's the cheapest in the industry. Okay, so we've got all kinds of leads here. Make sure you just are constantly searching the leads here until you find one that you're really comfortable with. Don't just stay on one, and don't just use this $10 lead here. That's my advice on there. Don't worry about VanillaSoft. Don't worry about using this software program until you get going. Guys and gals, I always get asked by new agents, hey, do I need the soft phone? What am I going to do for phone? Use your cell phone. Don't make this any harder than it has to be. Print your script out. Use one carrier. Get your leads in front of you. Call them. And the biggest thing is, when you go through training, go over to one university. It looks like there's a whole lot of things here to learn, but these are really short videos for the most part. The training's a little bit out of date for Foresters and Americo. They're not our go-to companies anymore. Follow this video. But the only thing you really need to do here is get familiar with the dashboard, get familiar with the script, learn how to overcome objections. This video here is for brand new agents who kind of need to know how to explain to customers the difference between whole life and term life, and just kind of a more informative video. And then down here, these are just miscellaneous videos. If you're going on the free lead program, get with us before you order them, and we'll let you know which leads which states you need to be on the free lead program. It changes a little bit, but if you're just looking for non-resident states, these are the ones that I would get pretty much in that order. You don't want to get licensed in Michigan. You don't want New York, California, unless you live there. We just don't have as good a success in these states for whatever reason. So stick with these states above for non-residents, and you'll be good to go. But it's so basic, folks, that we want our new agents to just focus on the script, focus on overcoming objections, get really good at using one carrier, and write a lot of business and start making a lot of money. Okay? Do us a favor. We want to give away those 10% bumps. Do us a favor and get off to a fast start. And just so you know, your 30 days starts once you get 2 carriers. That's when your 30 days starts. So if you start on the 15th of the month, then that'll be your first day of your 30-day trial, or your 3 months. It'll always start on the 15th of the month. So that way you don't have to worry if you start, on the 7th or the 10th or the 15th. It doesn't matter. And we'll let you, if you have a question, just let us know what date we'll start it, and that way we're all on the same page. So we want everybody to put a bonus in your bank. And think about it. If you get a 10% bump and you're writing $10,000 a month, that's $1,000 you're putting. That's $1,000 you're putting in your pocket, which basically pays for your leads. So get out there, spend some money on some leads, hit 10,000, and get your first bump. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Hope this helps. Hope it excites you. And if you need anything, let us know. God bless.